The ends you serve that are selfish will take you no further than yourself, but the ends you serve that are for all will take you into eternity.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Essence of May. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about illiteracy, the role this plays in our society, especially regarding crime and how young people conduct themselves because of said illiteracy, and also what fuels the music, because of course some music does influence behavior, and these are things that I've spoken about before on my channel, but the road that I'm taking it today is a little bit different of a discussion that I'm gonna have surrounding said topic. And of course, we know crime is a big issue for us as Jamaicans. It has caused so much for a lot of people, in terms of losing their loved ones, in terms of fear, in terms of hindering a lot of things that could take place, especially even to have an environment that is conducive to their learning and development. So guys, I'm going to be discussing this and more, so let's get into it. So what is illiteracy? I'm going to explain this in the simplest form possible. So when someone says someone is illiterate, it's pretty much referring to the lack of rationale. I'm going to put it to the best way I think I would describe illiteracy. It's pretty much a lack of, so the absence of rational thinking. Of course, we know illiteracy is turning into a lack of education, someone being ignorant, and not in the sense of anger per se. As we as Jamaican always say, you know, you're ignorant, which that's really not what it means. Ignorance is just the lack of knowledge regarding a subject area. So you're ignorant to the fact that if you put your foot in fire, you will get burned. Pretty much that's what it is. Going back to what I was saying, so as I said, in, you know, just to break it down, how I would define illiteracy is the lack of rationale, and that's the simplest term, because obviously there's a long definition of what literacy is. So, but I'm going to focus on the fact, you know, a lack of rationale, because most of our issues that we have now in our society is because people are not rational. People do not think. It's just about how they feel at the moment, in terms of if somebody step on your toe, if somebody violate you, and also the respect that comes from having power based on, you know, being this tough person in a community. And this is something that I've seen firsthand. You know, I've seen firsthand, I've experienced, where I've seen young men be in a community and people walk over them. So say they're growing up, my age, I've watched this happen. You know, being like a 16-year-old, you see, you know, your 16-year-old peers, and you see the treatment in terms of that individual not having followed the norm, the predominant norm, the norm of the community, of said community, and them not having that respect. And you realize how, as much as it's these young men, you know, that grow up to become the monsters in our societies, because they would have taken that said route, you see where it's the society itself as well that plays a role in what our young people become. In that, I used to see where these, like, I know this particular guy around my area, and people used to take, you know, people used to talk to him, people used to treat him a certain way, you know, pretty much because him never have the nice shoes, the nice clothes. People used to treat him a certain way. And then he decides to take up the gun, and once he takes up the gun and he started to create, you know, do some serious damage in the community, and and of course that would create like fear, and of course, you know, fear brings respect, and then you see people treating him different. And this is where I feel the problem is really, because it is the unpopular thing to not be respected. A lot of young men tend to direct themselves towards that path because it's the most popular thing, to be respected, to be feared. And when you look at it deep down, you realize that it's really the community that helps to create these monsters, if you get what I mean. And when I say it's the community that helps to create these monsters, because people only treat certain youths good, or treat certain youths with respect if they fear them, right? As opposed to treating everybody with respect, so that people can know that it's not, you don't have to be this to be that. You don't have to be this to get respect. You can pretty much follow the right path and you'll still be respected. You don't have to take a certain route, create damage for the respect to come, which is something that you would hope people would realize that is really causing the problem. Now, how does this tie into illiteracy? So, as I mentioned, it's the communities, the society that helps to create these sort of monsters, in that people only respect those that they fear, as opposed to respecting these young men before they take these paths, if that makes sense. And then, because that's where the respect comes from, these young men follow these paths for that said respect. Not saying that's the only reason why these young people take up the wrong path and try to get some respect by the damage they do. Not saying that's the only reason, but a great reason. And how does that tie in with literacy? Of course, if you are educated, if you have rational, you don't have to go to school to have this. It's something you can learn. It's called common sense as well. Wherein somebody who is illiterate, obviously, because creating damage, being the bad man, doing this, doing that, gives that respect. It takes an illiterate person to not look at the adverse effect of that. Even though it comes with respect, it also comes with chaos. It also comes with you living a life of torment. It also comes with you always having to watch your back. So it takes someone who has rationale to look at that and say, I don't want that path, even though it brings respect. And that is where the illiteracy comes in. The literacy part is so powerful, because literacy is so strong, so widespread, that it dictates, or it determines how people behave and their decisions they make, as opposed to being rational about the decisions they make. And that's just something that I've recently been looking into, that really and truly, if illiteracy is such a dangerous thing. And of course, as I've mentioned in other videos, because it is so hard, even because the whole society is set up in such a way where you have to be getting these grades, you have to be performing at a certain level for the door to be open to you, which is sad, because you know that everybody don't perform in the same way. Not every child is going to be as academically inclined as someone else. Everybody has their points, everybody have their areas where they struggle with, and it's not fair that only a set amount of people gets the opportunity, because they're overachievers. And this is where the problem is, because once you haven't accomplished much in high school, most of these young people, they tend to find other means to occupy themselves, whereas in finding a gang or stealing, or even those who even probably want to go back to school, who probably don't have the means to go back. I'm not saying that people have to take these routes, but we have to look at what does the society, how is it set up in a way that is not conducive to the growth and development of young people? And are the opportunities there as such where people can choose, especially for those who probably are underachievers, which I've always been lobbying for, where everybody don't achieve as everybody else, and it's not helping Jamaica to, after someone has finished high school, to just, that's it, and you let them out into the society, and we're only creating more issues where obviously we're having more illiteracy, which comes with lack of rationale, which comes with crime, which ties into crime, which ties into chaos and destruction in our society. So that's really just something that I thought I'd share here on the platform. Let me know, guys, what you think, about my thoughts, my comments, i.e. my 2 cents on this. So do share your comments in the comment section. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. You do have yourself a wonderful day. Until next time, Godspeed. Big ups. Bye, guys. Bye.